Hello and welcome to Codeos, another podcast. Today we have Swarali Shinde, who is currently pursuing her MMS, that is a MBA degree from Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management, and which is the one of the top business school of India. Welcome Swarali in our podcast.
Hi
Yeah,
Omkar, how are you doing?
yeah, I'm doing great. So before starting our podcast, I want to introduce in shortly about Swarali. So Swarali is doing her MMS, that is Master in Management Studies from JB, and she had done her internship from Cochlear and Beistorf in marketing domain. And so Swarali, you can introduce yourself in briefly about your
Yeah,
like life before MBA and background before pursuing an MBA.
sure. So you're pretty much told about like wherever I've worked after JBIMS. I would like to tell you like before JBIMS, I completed my graduation in 2021
Huh,
from REIT, the same college that you were in.
huh,
And post that, I did like couple of internships in digital marketing domain, like overall like a 1 year work ex in digital marketing. And I knew that I wanted to do MBA only, so I was side by side preparing for JBIMS, and 2022 I got into JBIMS. So this is a brief introduction, and I'm from Panvel basically. So
okay.
yeah, now I'll pass out in 2024.
Okay, yeah, that's really great. So, as DT conducting CET on a March, so let's talk about preparation strategy and application process of JB. Like, how was the process? What was the preparation, and how you prepared for your CET or other MBA entrance exams? So, what? So before that, let's discuss what motivated you to pursue an MBA and specifically at Jamnalal. Yeah.
Okay, so as I told you, like I am a pass out of 2021, right? So 2020 there was a lockdown, and
Huh,
because of which I had a lot of time in my hand. I started like exploring digital marketing, and I had prior interest in that field. So when
hmm,
I started doing things in digital marketing, did actual internship in the lockdown, I got to know okay, this is a really good field, and I really like working in this. So when I was in my final year itself, I thought that okay, MBA is something that I want to do. Prior that, being from RIT, it gives you a lot of chances to organize fairs. So I had been a part of
huh,
cultural committee. I had managed a lot of fairs. I was really inclined towards management, and after
huh,
lockdown, mostly towards marketing. So that is something motivated me a lot an MBA. And if you ask why specifically JBIMS, I think first reason would be mostly because for CAT or any other such exams, there is a profile criteria which is not
huh,
present in JBIMS. Like you just have one entrance exam, you have to
huh,
score a good 99 plus percentile, and you
huh,
get into JB on
huh,
the merit basis. So yeah, that was one of the things mostly.
hmm,
But yeah, I thought that JP was any which way the right fit for me because of
huh.
the
Yeah. So it's one of IIM level institute in India. Mhm.
yeah.
So let's move forward to the application process and about CET.
Sure. So basically, the application process is directly on the official website of
Huh,
MSCT. You get a
hmm,
notification around November, December every year, and
hmm,
you like the forms are out. Everything is online. You just have to fill out the form, the basic details and everything. And the CT will happen in March, or even if mostly it's in April only. You'll get the hall
okay.
ticket and everything through that only. And
Hmm,
yeah, basically after that in March, once you give the exam, after 3 odd months, you get the result for the same. So this is the basic timeline. Everything is online because of like, and just the thing is that during the lockdown, the timeline was a bit like messed up at that point of time. So it happened quite late for us. But right now, this year, from this year, I think it's completely on track.
Okay. And like, what was the what is the academic calendar for getting admission? Like, it's June to June. Yeah. What's
Yeah, mostly it's June or August, and then after
okay?
second year you pass out mostly in like April, May.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. So let's now move forward to the preparation strategies. So how did you prepare for CET, for JB, and any tips for future applicants?
So, firstly, though, I think I went through all the syllabus and the portion, whatever that is there. That is the first
Huh,
thing. The paper pattern, what exactly
huh,
CBT asks you to do. So, most of you who are from like who have given some exams, you know, CAT is an exam which has a slightly higher level aptitude, but CET is
huh,
not that quite difficult when you compare it that way. Relatively, it's easier.
huh,
So you have to compare all these things first. What is the syllabus? What is the paper pattern? In CAT, you have a lot of time to solve the question, but CET is completely on speed. You know, you just
huh,
have to practice a lot. It is a speed-based exam. Uh,
hmm,
and secondly, the thing is that you will like have a lot of sections also in CET as well, but you will have like just 150 minutes and 200 questions. So you will have to manage that. So that thing is there when compared to CAT. So once
okay.
you are done with syllabus and your portion, I think you need to move to mocks, strategy, and keep improving after that. I also
Huh,
like referred to a lot of topper videos initially, saw a lot of videos, saw a lot of resources, how one should develop your own strategy. But after all, you have to put in all the efforts, like you have to put in a lot of work in terms of practicing, in terms of working in the books, and then only you will finalize your own strategy.
right. So, were there any specific subject and topic that you focused during your preparation, like verbal reasoning, वगैरह, logical reasoning? So, is there any specific topic or subjects that
Yeah, so
anyone should focus, or that the aspiring MBA candidate should focus?
I think you need to study like all the sections. You can't like
Okay.
miss out on anything.
Huh.
But relatively, I face a lot of difficulties in quants because quants takes a lot of time to solve, and in CC, since it's a speed-based exam, you have to be very quick. That is something that I faced a lot of issues with. So what I did was, for whenever I was practicing, I used to like put a timer on my phone, like if per question, how much time am I consuming. So I used to calculate how many minutes I took for one question, and I used to
Huh.
see how I can solve this question better. Is there any other way to solve this question? How could I have reduced the time? Do I need to do more
Hmm.
mental calculations? So all these things you have to consider for your all these subjects. Just analyze your strengths in terms of the sections, like play on your strengths, but along with that you will have to work on your weaknesses as well.
Okay, so it's all about speed game when
Yeah,
it comes to
exactly.
CET. Hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, so as you mentioned earlier, so JB is not a profile based. So is there any GD and interviews to get into JB, or kind of any process that, or just a percentile?
No, so there are no GD or interview process as such. It's
Hmm.
completely on merit basis when you give the CP exam.
Hmm.
Like it is on the percentile basis. There are no interviews as of now.
Okay. Hmm. So yeah, let's move forward to the resources part. So, what resources you can suggest for aspiring candidates, like books or courses or YouTube channels, so that can help them to prepare for CET and score a good percentile.
So I personally used like I had enrolled in the top percentile course, which is an online platform. I use that a lot for the resources. I also use the resources of Time. Time also provides material for CP exam. Apart from that, I had mock providers like four mock providers. One was time, the top percentile offers of test fund. That was one. IMS was one, and CET King. So these
Huh.
four like mocks I had used. Apart from that, the resources or the material that I had, that was purely of time and the top percentile.
Hmm.
So these were the purely resources. Apart from that, whenever like you have any doubts, you can always search on YouTube shortcuts and everything for
Okay.
quants, any questions you need shortcuts. Even for logical reasoning, you can also search on YouTube as well. But yeah, this was like extensive list of resources that I had. So,
Okay. And so, as you said about the mock test, so what were your mock strategies and final day wala like yeah, final day में prepare किया, so just before exam, so last time preparation.
so also, like initially, like when I started giving out mocks, I tried a lot of variations. Like I started,
Huh.
let's say verbal hota hai, you have verbal, logical reasoning, quads, AI. I like every mock, one each mock I started with LR, the other mock I started with verbal, other mock I started with quad. I tried all possible combinations that could be
Hmm.
done at that point, and saw that whichever mock is giving me better results. That's how I tried to proceed. And I just saw, like, after analyzing the mocks, I think giving mock is one thing, but after giving the mock, you need to analyze your mock, where you like lost your time, which question you should not have solved, because there are many questions. You have 200 questions and only 150
Hmm.
minutes. So even they don't expect you to solve all the 200 questions. Some questions are only there to waste your time, to just so that they can confuse you. Some questions are not meant to be solved. You need to understand that, and you will understand that with practice more. How much ever you practice, you will understand it more. So through these
Hmm.
mocks, like I finalized the strategy. Like so basically जो BA पे मेरी strategy थी, तो दो चीजें होती है. एक तो you will have a jumbled kind of paper कि there are no sections, just कोई भी question आ रहा है in 200 questions, like there are randomly. Or the second thing could be that you have different sections. Okay, so my basic strategy was I would first 20 minutes, 20 minutes and 30 questions. So I, since quant was my weaker section, I decided to completely keep quant at the end. And I started off with LR, verbal, and AR. So 20 minutes में I will solve 30 questions. This was my first and only easy question. इसमें I will skip the verbal के passages, जो बड़े passages होते हैं, I will skip that. And there are some big puzzles in LR. I will also skip that because that will take a lot of time. So first 20 minutes, 30 questions. Next 20 minutes, again 30 questions. And again next 20 minutes, 30 questions. This way, in 60
Hmm.
minutes, I was done with 100 questions. Okay, 100 easy questions. Those questions which could have been done in 1 minute. Okay, that
Okay.
was my first 60 minutes ka strategy. After that, that way I was done glancing through the whole paper in the first 60 minutes, and I was done solving 100 easy questions, easiest questions. Then I went back again from the start, and जो LR के बड़े puzzles थे, I started with that, and the verbal के जो passages थे, I did that. So that is what I did in next 20-30 minutes, and last के जो 50 minutes थे, पूरे 50 minutes quants थे. So I started
Oh.
cons at the end जब सब कुछ हो जाता था, because that was my weaker section, and that would, I know that would take a lot of time. एक कौन के
हाँ.
क्वेश्चन में अगर मुझे दो तीन मिनट लग रहे हैं एक कौन के क्वेश्चन में, एंड आई इवन सॉल्व अगर 3-4 क्वेश्चन ऐसे मेरे 10 मिनट वेस्ट हो गए, so I can't afford solving that in the beginning. That is one thing.
हाँ.
Secondly, if I start solving cons in the beginning, first question आया मेरा हुआ नहीं, second
Hmm.
question आया मुझे आया नहीं, third question पे मेरा moral down हो जाएगा. So this is
हाँ.
something also you need to think of. That is why I kept my weaker section at the end. And पहले जो मेरा strength था वो पहले complete किया, and that is how I strategized. This was my D-Day strategy, but I think you
हाँ.
need to be very flexible on the D-Day. So this is
Hmm.
what happened on the D-Day कि question paper बहुत tough आ गया, बहुत ज़्यादा. So मेरे 20 minutes में 30 question नहीं complete हो रहे थे basically, because
हाँ.
the questions were quite tough. तो मुझे अगर कोई question लग रहा है कि ये 1 minute से ज़्यादा जा रहा है, तो फिर मैं
हाँ,
छोड़ दे रही थी क्वेश्चन बिकॉज आई कांट वेस्ट माई टाइम एट दैट पॉइंट. सो यू हैव टू बी वेरी फ्लेक्सिबल एंड यू नीड टू अडेप्ट एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम एग्जाम के बीच में. यू कैन बी लाइक नहीं 20 मिनट्स में 30 सॉल्व करना ही करना है. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि ओके पेपर टफ आया, आई नीड टू अडेप्ट माई स्ट्रेटेजी. So I think that is something that you really need to do. ये सिर्फ एक ideal पेपर के लिए मेरी strategy थी, but I would suggest that you need to adapt to the situation. You need to be more flexible. So yeah, just trust yourself and just like ये और खुद की strategy. You can't just start off my strategy. You try out different
हाँ,
things in your mock and see what is
right,
working for you. आपके लिए क्या काम कर रहा है वो आपको देखना
हाँ,
है.
right. Yeah, so that's totally right. So, Abhi, now let's moving to the most interesting part. So, your experience at Jamnalal, like culture, faculties, and life at Jamnalal. So what has been most rewarding aspect of your experience at JB? So, let's first come to the rewarding part of JB.
Sure. So I think the kind of opportunities that you get exposed to at JBIMS, Jesse, you get a lot of chances to like show your skills as well as enhance your leadership skills.
हाँ,
JBIMS is a completely student-run institute. सारी जो काम होते हैं companies होती है सब कुछ students करते हैं. You get a lot of chance to show your leadership skills. That is the first thing. Secondly, the kind of opportunities that college opens for you is the state competitions जो बड़ी-बड़ी companies के होते हैं that you get to participate in and like pitch in your ideas in front of the leaders of different companies. You get to do that as well. The kind of placement that it offers, obviously that is also there. But yes, these are the kind of rewarding experience that I have experienced in GPMS. I don't think I would have experienced it in any tier to tier three college for that matter. So I think it's for me, it's the kind of opportunities that GPMS opens for.
okay. And same question from experience low, like how has the faculty at Jamnalal contributed to your academics and professional growth?
I think we have permanent as well as visiting faculty. So
Huh,
visiting faculties that is there, they most of them are alum of JB, passed out from like right really from 1975
huh,
batch to even like just 2017 batch. So इतनी सारी जो alum UO level at directorate level at big companies, and I think that is something that is really good. They bring in the kind of experience to the college and you get to learn directly from that. I think that is the best
okay.
part of the faculties that is there at JPM.
Hmm, right. So now move forward to the balancing. So how you balance your academics and other opportunities like professional opportunities, internship and all. So how you balance both these things?
I think one of the most important things when you get into JBM is because of the kind of culture it has and the
Huh,
seniors that are there to guide you constantly. You
huh,
kind of get into that mode of doing a lot of things together, multitasking, setting goals, completing those goals. That is really important in JBM. So I think once you're inside the college, you're one of them. So you learn all these skills. I think it's about the atmosphere and environment you are in. You learn to balance it eventually.
hmm,
I would say
okay. So let's move forward to the this section is specifically for the aspiring candidates. So what advice would you give to aspiring candidate who are applying for Jamnalal or similar top business school of India, like any other MBA school? So what advice you will give for them?
I think personally, like from my personal experience, just because like I would be focused on GPMS, I don't think that's an
Huh,
ideal thing to do because one
huh,
relying on just one exam is not something you should do. I would not advise that to anyone, I think you should look out for a lot of options. And as I
Huh.
said, just go through all the syllabus and whatever. Like for example, if you're appearing for CAT and they have a lot of weightage on profile and all those things, I think you need to then focus on building your profile, do all those things. And just as I said, just go through the syllabus, like a portion, paper pattern, and then start working on it, analyze it, and then after that keep improving. I think that's the only way you like go about any examination that is there to excel to it. Like sure, there are like times in between when you feel that you're not doing well or you're not able to get through that. But I'm very sure if you're consistent in something, you will definitely like crack that code.
Right. So, are there any misconception about MBA journey like you want to address? So,
I
any
think one of the
misconceptions?
biggest
Hmm.
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest misconception would be like you have to be like a very topper right from the
Huh.
beginning of your like college experiences. I don't think that you just have to be a 999 profile to get into a top tier business school. I
Huh.
myself am not a 999 profile. I was never a topper. I did not think like I would end up like if I would ask myself 5 years back, would I be able to like top a
Hmm.
CET exam and I could get into JBIMS? I would think no, but I think hard work like overpowers everything else. So just
Huh.
believe in yourself. Don't. This is the biggest misconception. सब toppers करते हैं MBA. सब toppers
Huh.
जाते हैं IIM में कोई बात नहीं होती है. So I think that is the misconception.
Okay. So, and or a question like, so Joe, if I'm pursuing, like if I'm appearing for CAT, CET, or any MBA entrance exam, so is my background mm, has any important like if I'm a designer or a UI UX person or like any other domain person, so can I go for MBA or so like for them is there any um, yeah, so basically my question is if your domain is very apart from a management background, so उसका कुछ डिफरेंट होता है क्या लाइक डिफरेंस पड़ता है क्या टू गेट इनटू
I think
एमबीए?
I don't think because we have profiles from diverse backgrounds, especially the IIMs वगैरह तो they have quite diverse profiles. So it's
हाँ.
not necessarily that way. I myself am an engineer, as I mentioned at the beginning. So I don't think it's necessary to have like a very management specific background and then do an MBA.
Okay, so yeah, uh, if there is one piece of advice which you had received before starting your MBA journey, so what would it be? Like starting.
I think one thing would be like maybe initially I thought that it is just about studying and like doing the things right. मतलब सारी external चीजें हैं जो करनी है
Hmm.
preparation के लिए. I think there are a
हाँ.
lot of internal things also that you need to do. बहुत micro manage करना पड़ता है. For
Hmm.
example, if I could give you an instance, जब you come to know about your MBA slot 15 days before or so. Okay, and मेरा slot एकदम दोपहर में था. दोपहर का टाइम यूजुअली रहता है if you're like तभी वर्क फ्रॉम होम चल रहा था मेरा तो दोपहर का या फिर अगर तुम लोग अगर किसी नोटिस पीरियड पे भी हो या फिर अब ब्रेक लिया है तो दोपहर का टाइम अगर तुम पढ़ने में नहीं लगा रहे हो देन यू हैव टू पुट योर ब्रेन इनटू दैट थिंग कि नहीं 2 से 5 मेरा एग्जाम है रोज 2 से 5 में आई विल जस्ट गिव अ मॉक और स्टडी समथिंग सो दैट माई ब्रेन
Okay.
न्यूज ओके इस टाइम पे पढ़ना है. So these are some of the micromanagement or the internal things that you need to do at that point of time. ये एक चीज
Hmm.
होती है एंड समवन फ्रॉम लाइक मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि सिंस आई अगेन वही चीज है कि यू हैव ओनली 150 minutes यू हैव टू मेक यूज ऑफ एवरी 150 minute यू हैव टू मेक श्योर कि 1 मिनट भी मेरा कॉन्सेंट्रेशन इधर उधर नहीं होना चाहिए. So for that also, if you are someone who struggle with concentration, yeah, who struggles with like keeping focus on a particular
हाँ,
thing, work on that as well. So that is something that you do internally. तो कैसे होता है when you give a lot of mocks, एक point पे ऐसे हो जाता है कि mock मेरा ऐसा हुआ था, mock के score ही नहीं पढ़ रहे, okay, you are just stagnant there, बढ़ ही नहीं रहे, then you have to do all these things कि क्यों नहीं बढ़ रहे, you have to analyze it, कहाँ पे जा रहा है, कहाँ पे कम बढ़ रहा है. So I
हाँ,
realize that this is something कि दो चीजें होती है, external चीजें होती है जो तुम पढ़ के करते हो, second is internal things कि you have to like build on your focus, build your concentration, do all these micromanagement things that are there. I think this is one advice that I feel पहले मिला होता है, तो you can just start away with that. But on the way, I realized it. कि, okay,
हम्म,
this is what you have to do.
okay, yeah. So yeah, that's all the question which will be going to help for aspiring candidate. So thank you, Swarali, for sharing your experience and valuable insight on a podcast. It was a truly enlightening, and coders appreciate your time and expertise. So yeah, so it will definitely help for aspiring candidates और जो लोग को भी MBA करना है या any other institutes like IM CAT, वो लोग भी strategies, mock strategies का जो है that will be insightful. So thank you.
So thank you so much.
Okay.